Okay, welcome again, guys, and welcome to our fifth part, I think, on our ongoing platformer tutorial series, specifically or intended to be for beginners at game development, for people who is just starting to learn game development. And we're going to use the Lua language, which is pretty much easy for a language, and but still cool, and for me the best, and the Love framework. Okay, so let's open our project. As you can see, last time we made our state switching library or state manager. So this is how you switch. So it's just a recap. So menu, there you go. See, it's switched. So for now, we're going to continue and extend our uh, extend our base engine. You can see here we're going to add another module called input, and we're going to require our source directory input. Let's just call this input manager, and then call. So let's create that file in, I always type in out, I don't know why, input manager.lua, and then as always, let's require our base class, which is in our modules, and then modules, and then class. That's the name, and then let's create that. So let's just call this input is equals to class extend, and then the name will be input. I always type in out, I don't know why. Input manager. Oh no, I missed that. Okay, and then return that input. And as always, let's create our new function, and let's just create here a simple table, which is self.inputs, where we are just going to store all input events or input table there. So function, and then input. This is how we add an input, add a function. So in that add function, what we're going to need is the event, if it's key press or key released, and then let's add key, so what key is pressed or released, and then the function. So if we press that in the if we press a key in a certain event, it will trigger the function. So uh, I found this to be a very compatible and convenient way on handling inputs. And then let's first make use or assert will throw us an error if it is false. Remember that if the value we pass is false. So self that inputs, and then let's create id is equals to nil. Okay, so if that is false, let's say input id it already exists, like so. So we forgot to put here id. Let's add id, so we can have a name or an identifier for each of our input. So it's like an event. So let's say if not key, then return end. So it says that if key is not, I mean, if it is not true, then return end. So we're not going to do anything, so we're just going to escape from this function. So if not, self that input, so in our table we're going to see if that key already exists, if it does not yet exist yet, we're going to say self that input, and then on that key or the key press, we're going to create another table or a sub table, and in that sub table we're going to repeat this again. If self the input and then key and then event, then so if in our self.input, which is a table, we're going to search for a key. If that doesn't exist yet, we're going to create a table, and we're going to check again if in that key table we have this event. If it is if that event is not yet or does not yet exist, we're going to say self.inputs. Oh, this should be inputs. I don't know why I forgot to say it should be inputs. Okay, so I think I didn't miss anything. So key and then event, oh I forgot, and then is equals to a table again. So finally we can say table insert. So we're going to insert in that self that, so where are we going to insert? So self that inputs, and then in that key and in that event, so that will be another table, so we can insert in that. What we're going to insert is, let me just organize my code. So what we're going to insert there is a function, is the function. So fn, so short for function, is equals to the function that we passed, and then let's say the name of that event will be is equals to the id that we passed. Okay, so that's it. And so what we need is for to check the input check. So we need here the key, which is pressed, and then the event if it is key press or key released. And then let's say if self that inputs key, and then this is going to be a lot of if and if statement. So I know tables can be confusing, but don't worry, that's not very hard to understand. Unlike if you're using other language which has array, dictionary type, and map, something like those. Okay, so for basically we need to check here. Okay, so what if we press another key which does not exist? So it's going to give us an error, so we have to be sure it's there. And then if we are sure it's there, we're going to for loop. We're going to loop in every of that, in every table. So of that inputs, key, and then event. Okay, so I'm going to explain this a little bit as much as I can. So first of all, we need this for loop because there are going to be many inputs, right? So we have many inputs, so we have to loop through them, check if in that table it matches what we want, the key or the event that we want or that we pressed. So if that exists, we're going to say v.fn. Okay, so v will be the table. So if it in that v, if that exists, this will happen, and then call that fn, which is here, which will be the function that we passed here. So it will this will call that function. Okay, so basically you can do this the other way around. You can first do the loop, and then inside loop check everything first, but this is first check if it's there before looping, because if we basically loop first, it's going to be, let's say, less memory management. So, and that's going to give a little bit of impact in the performance of the system. Okay, but anyways, there we go. We made our input manager. So now in our main.lua, let's say love.key pressed, and then key, and then we need a game that in did we need it that in already only input. I don't know what's happening with my Vim. So game input, and then check, and then we need the key, and then the event, which is key pressed. Okay, so that's it. So love that key press is a event in main.lua which handles every key pressed. So the key press is passed here, so we're going to pass it here also. And then let's create another one. Let's just copy this, and then let's create another one which is for key released. So these are the important functions in the love framework. Okay, there you go. So if we run this, there's no error, but if we press anything, nothing's going to happen, right? Because we didn't use this input at event, so we're going to use that. So I think we should remove this assert. We don't need this because we're checking if that exists and return, so we don't need to use assert anymore. So let's go into our player, entities player. Okay, so as you can see, we have this left and right movement, right? So let's remove those. Okay, no, wait, actually let's fix that on the next video, because I'm trying to make every video short, so and specific for each, let's say specific for each topic. So let's just try this input manager if it works, and then in the next video we're going to fix the player entity. Okay, so let's say game, then input, and then add. So here is our add function. So we need first the ID, which is going to be trial. So you can name this anything you want, trial, and then we're going to say an event if we key pressed, and then the key will be, let's just say H, and then let's pass a function here that will say print hello world again. Okay, so there we go. If we press H, as you can see, it hello world again on our key press. You can put functions here, okay, but let's say you have a very big function and you don't want to mess things up. Okay, so what you can do is make a separate function with a name here. Let's say function hello. Yes, I spell hello like that, don't ask me why. And then print hello meow cow. Yeah, I know, that's it. Okay, so instead of passing a function here, what we can say is pass the name of the function here, like that, hello. If we pass that, if we press H, it says hello meow cow, right? So why don't we pass like the function here there with parentheses? We did that, see, it doesn't work and it's already called. So when you use parentheses, basically hello is the variable name, right? This is the variable name hello, and this parenthesis is method of calling a function. So we don't want to call the function yet, so we remove the parentheses. But we refer to that, or uh, but the reference of that function is the name, so hello. So if we pass it here, as you can see, this will be the name that will be passed. So I mean, fn will be the name, and then function will be the name passed, so it will be hello. And then actually here, this will be called fn. See, fn will be let's say hello, and then parentheses, so call that. There you go. So there are two ways of passing functions there, but I said, but you can do whatever you want, you can perform what you like. So we have that function. Let's try. Okay, so we're going to end the video soon, but for now let's try making another input. So to make sure that this input manager works, and special thanks to the Discord, to the people at Discord for helping me finalize the code, because I'm using when I made the code, it was for loop first before anything else. So, and I made a lot of if else, which is unnecessary. So thank you. Shout out to Erasho and Evolbug and to Senpai Sepi. I hope you hear me. So let's say trial 2, and then so if you make duplicate key names, it doesn't matter. Oh wait, yes. Oh no, wait. Yes, it doesn't matter because we removed the assert function. So if you want to only have a single name for each event, you can basically put the assert function again there. So okay, so let's finish this now. Print and then 2. So the first key is K and the second one is H. So if I press H, it prints out 1, and then if I press K, it prints out 2. If I press both, of course both is printed out. So let's try using the same name. It will not give us an error. You can print both still, but if I add the assert function again, it will give us no, it doesn't, because is equals, well, okay, that's cool. It doesn't give us an error. I'm not sure why. I tested this before. Okay, never mind. So let's remove this ID. That's what they told me. I don't need the ID, but I didn't listen. So anyways, wait, I think ID will be important if we want to search for the function, for the name of the event that is triggered. But never mind. Let's just remove that. We don't need that for now. Okay, so it works. So I hope you guys learned something, or a lot, preferably. I'm going to leave it here and then save our session here, so when we return next time, it's there. Okay, so I know it's a little bit confusing, but I will try to explain this on a follow-up video. I'm not sure about that, but let's see, let's find out. So I hope you guys had a lovely day, and as always, see you again next time. Be sure to subscribe or follow me, or to get updated, or whatever you want. Just do what you want. Okay, so see ya.